Let's look at an algebra example where we're asked to find the y-intercept for the equation y is equal to 3/4 x minus 7. And we're asked to write our answer in coordinate form. A lot of times when you're working in a math class, you will be asked to write your answer to this sort of a question in coordinate form. So that means in a x comma y fashion. Before we get into this too deep, let's just kind of remind ourselves what it means to be looking for the y-intercept. So we're going to go down to this graph that we have here. We have our line y is equal to 3/4 x minus 7 on our nice coordinate system. When we're talking about the y-intercept, that is where our graph or a line is going to cross the y-axis. So our y-axis we see is labeled here, is this vertical line here, and it crosses right where I put that highlighted point, right in the middle. So you'll notice what happens here. If we look at our xy axis, you'll notice that this happens exactly when x is equal to 0. Because remember, when we're working with the x-axis, we have positive numbers over here, negative numbers down here. Y-axis, positive is above, negative is below, and in the middle is always our 0. So when x is equal to 0, that's when we cross our y-axis. So that's going to be our key in finding the y-intercept. We're going to start with our equation here. And what we're going to do is we're going to set this x value to 0 because we know x has to be 0. And we're going to figure out where that y is when we set x is equal to 0. So let's go back up here. I'm going to start by writing our equation again. Y is equal to 3/4 x minus 7. We are going to, set x is equal to 0. And this is the key. Remember, whenever you're asked to find an intercept of some sort, take the opposite letter and set it equal to 0. So in this case, we are going to plug in 0 for our x. Once we do that, we know that 3/4 times 0 is 0. So we are going to solve for our y. 0 minus 7 is a negative 7. We have two pieces of information here now in this list. Now notice I wrote out x is equal to 0 there, and that is for the reason that it's going to be a little bit easier to pull out our pieces of information when we want to write this in coordinate form. So putting this together, our coordinate form is always going to mean x comma y with nice parentheses around the outside. And our x is always 0 since we're working with the y-intercept. And our y value we determined was negative 7. So I'm going to box up our solution there. And there we go. Thank you for listening. I hope you got something out of this. Please hit subscribe.